Hey, third season cooking people, how are we doing today? I hope we're doing great. Cheers. A paloma, ooh, foreshadowing of possible Mexican dishes. Tequila, grapefruit juice, and fresca. I like to add a little bit of, like just a pinch of salt to mine because I think salt adds flavor to everything. Canada Day is just passed. American Independence Day is coming up soon, July 4th. July 1st was Canada Day. Mexican Independence Day is some other time. Cinco de Mayo is not Mexican Independence Day. However, that again, clues. We have Maria biscuits here from Cutera, and we have the fixings for what is known as a Carlotta, a Mexican Carlotta. Carlotta is this fabulous, really easy to make dessert, and we add a can of the evaporated milk. We add a can of sweetened condensed milk. And if you're making a big 11 by 14 pan, then you just use all that you got. We're not doing that. We're going to make a half of one. You can do you and however you wish. So we're going to, and then I don't know why in Canada, maybe it's that way in the US as well. Condensed milk always has this pull top lid, which leaves this really sharp lip, which makes it hard to get all the yumminesses out of the can. And I'm not sure whether you're supposed to or not. So I just have a silicone spoon that I use to get most of the cleanness out of it. And there it goes. Okay. So that's most of it. By and large, this is the end of the need for the spoon. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to spin these two together and blend them up. And because I'm only doing a half of one, I will pour the other half into my handy measuring cup. And where's mix? Okay, there we go. Just enough to spin it together. And then we're going to pour off approximately 325 mils of this because that's half of what we put in there. Okay, so just pouring that out. And what I do with this is I just put this in a different container. I pop that in the fridge, and then I make another one another time. Okay. To this, I'm going to add just a little bit of salt, just to sort of spark the flavors a bit. Okay. The one I'm making tonight is a mango. So we've got some sliced mangoes from Costco, and we're just going to throw what I'm assuming 4 slivers of mango is, about a half a mango in there. To that, we're going to add the juice of a lime, and that might be more than you need. I like it really limey. I think also the citrus acid helps soften the Maria biscuits into a usable form so that it becomes really cake-like. Okay. Oh, away we go. We have one. And we have the other one, i.e. the other half. Okay. And we're just going to do this all at once and just spin it all up together. Again, I like to add a touch of vanilla because vanilla also helps spark flavors. There we go. Two. So that's about a half a teaspoon or so of vanilla. And then I'm going to use about an ounce of coconut rum. You don't have to use rum. You don't have to use alcohol at all. I just happen to like the extra flavoring that alcohol adds to these sorts of desserts. And to this, if we're doing the full recipe, you would use half an 8-ounce brick of cream cheese. I'm only going to do half, so of course I'm going to use a quarter of a brick. Cream cheese gets used in lots of other things, so we'll save it up. And we'll delicately measure out about a quarter of a brick. Doesn't matter. We'll just cut that in. And then we'll give this a spin. and let her go while I'm getting this cleaned up just ever slightly so bit, so we can start at the next stage, which is the putting together of the Carlotta. Okay, so oops, turn on, and we'll just let that spin up. So that's just on the smoothie setting on this Ninja. So it's just going to spin around a little bit until it's fully mixed up. And it's looking pretty close. Close enough. Just looking around. Yeah, that's good. If it's a little bit chunky, that's okay. Because what's going to happen is you're going to put this into the refrigerator for at least 4 hours and maybe more. The one I've had in the fridge has been in there for about 2 days. I made it a couple days ago thinking I would get to it, and we didn't. So we'll get that at partially tonight. So I'm using a smaller Tupperware container. You're free to do whatever you want to. And fun. So the Maria biscuits, really yummy, like kitty biscuits, arrowroot biscuits. And what you do is you take your Carlotta mix and just pour a little on the bottom, and then you just get it all squared around like that. And then I start off by putting in the corners, and then I start breaking up the biscuits to make a bit of a base. What's going to happen is, as this sits in the fridge with the mango mixture, in this case, just because that's what I chose to make tonight was mango, what will happen is the cookies will soften over time. Okay, so then we're going to add another layer and get it nicely covered, and then you can move it around a bit with the biscuits. I like to do 3 layers of biscuits. And what I like to do as well, now we're just going to move it around. And then if you have a little spatula, or I could grab my spoon that I use, you could do that again. And sort of the same thing. I'm going to just change up the design a little bit. It won't matter at the end because it's all cake-like, but you want to get it together. And then do that, do that, do that. One more layer of Carlotta mixture. And taste test. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. Okay, now we're just going to push this around a bit. Get it all nice and covered. And one last time, just breaking the biscuits up. What I've discovered is I've made this now with Brazilian limeade. It was really yummy. I've made this with strawberry tequila. Really yummy. I've made it with mango. Guess what? Really yummy. Who knew? Okay. And also for our final layer, we're just going to cover this all up. And for this, I'm going to grab a spatula just to clean out all the nommies, because it really, do you want to waste this nomminess? No, you don't. It's way too good for that. Okay. So we just sort of pull that out, and then there we go. Now, if I were doing this myself, not on camera, I would go to town to make sure that I got all of the Carlotta mixture out of the bottom of the blender. But for our purposes, good enough. So that is what it looks like. So what we want to do is, I'm just going to put a touch more right there because I see a little bit of the cookie showing. Now, the reason you put this in the fridge for at least 4 hours is if you were to eat it now, you would find that, of course, the cookies are quite hard and cookie-like. And that's, okay. But what we really want to do is get to the one that I've had in the fridge for a while. And that's the way it turns out. Okay? So, and you think to yourself, hey, what the heck is that? That's a Carlotta. And so I like to serve these up in dessert bowls, but you can do it however you want to. This is really rich, right? You've got the evaporated milk, sweetened condensed milk, and you have cream cheese. So it's a lot like a cheesecake. Sorry, brain freeze. Like a cheesecake. And but what's happened is those cookies become super ultra soft. And you can go back in, pull these out. Not exactly the prettiest of presentations here. So we're going to try the other side and see if we can get that out just a little bit in a prettier fashion. But this is so good. Sometimes it doesn't have to be pretty. And if I had a different spatula type or lifter, that may help things. But again, this is my working kitchen, just like you have a working kitchen where you do things. You may not have all the tools and toys you want. Okay? So, there we go. This is now the mango and rum Carlotta. And let's do the little taste test because it is so good. Even with these pre-cut mangoes, so not super fresh, so light and tasty. A little bit of rum, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of salt to spark all the flavors, a little bit of all the goodness. And the cookies just so soften into like a cake-like structure. It makes for this magical, easy to make, wonderful dessert, especially during this hot weather. Wherever you are, because there's heat waves right now all across North America. There's heat waves all across Europe. And I would be surprised to find out there's heat waves all around the world. Because even the Southern Hemisphere, even though they're heading into winter, it's hot. So, hey, folks, cheers. I wish you all the best. Thanks for coming in. Don't forget, third season. This is that time of life when you're in transition from, no one's going from high school to college now. We're going from high school into work life, getting ready for college. We're going from college into work life over the summer. And maybe you graduate and you're starting your first job. Congratulations. Hope you have a great career. I wish you all the best. Thanks for popping into the third season kitchen. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.